Hey guys, it's Mr. Dysprosium, and here's my Titanfall 2 review. Well, I'll make this part quick. Basically, I kind of like the campaign. About 2.5 years ago, Titanfall 1 came out with no campaign whatsoever. What it did have was a lot of story building elements and a lot of universe building. There were things in the game that signified that there was a universe in the back end, but there just wasn't a cohesive story to go along with it. If you're not familiar with Titanfall 1, there was no campaign, but there were campaign missions designed as multiplayer maps. It was an okay idea, but it got frustrating listening to the same dialogue from the same missions every single time you played the multiplayer maps. So it kind of worked like this. You picked one of two sides, I think it was IMC versus Militia, and you played through the campaign, which was like 8 maps, and you played from your perspective. So you'd play as the IMC for 8 maps. You'd either win or lose, and either way you'd go over to the next mission. Winning or losing didn't really change the storyline. Some events happened, and on the final map there was like a big explosion. Someone died. I don't really remember. It wasn't really important because you were playing it for the multiplayer. You were playing it for the big titans smashing each other. But what I do remember is wanting a story. I remember seeing the things that the developers put into the game that made it very clear that they had something in the back of their minds, but maybe they just didn't have enough time to make a fully fleshed out campaign. So that brings me to Titanfall's 2 campaign. Game revolves around Cooper and BT, which is the human pilot and the Titan featured on the case. BT as a character is pretty lame, but he grows on you. They give you nice little dialogue choices in the game, which are pretty nice.
What is this place?
Accessing files. Unknown.
And overall, I give the story a solid 8 out of 10. The whole protocols thing is pretty gay. You'll see it when you play the game, but it pays off at the end, so I can't knock it completely. So I'm kind of glazing over the campaign. There's not a whole lot to talk about. That doesn't mean it's a bad campaign. I do think you should give it a shot. There is, however, something I wanted to point out that kind of comes out of nowhere in the campaign, and it's this time warp mechanic. This time-hopping device that you get just kind of comes in the middle of the story and sticks around for like 30 minutes of gameplay. But the thing is, I replayed this section of gameplay like a couple of times, right back to back to back, because I really fell in love with this idea that they just kind of came up with. It came out of nowhere. It's really weird because it doesn't really fit in with the theme of the game at all. It comes in, sticks around for a half hour, and then leaves just as quickly as it came. So between the decent story, surprisingly good chemistry between the two main characters, and this interesting time mechanic that they came up with, I'd say I thoroughly enjoyed the campaign. I do have one complaint, and it's a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want spoilers, you're going to want to jump ahead. Okay, so here's my complaint. So the whole campaign is building up to this friendship between BT and Cooper, the Titan and the pilot. You save the Titan once or twice. You make some jokes together, and like a real friendship is brewing, and it feels pretty good, natural. The BT even defends you as a good pilot once the militia and Sarah show up, and like they try to be like, okay, BT, we'll get you a real pilot, and BT's like, no, I like this one. He is sufficient. So anyway, towards the end of the game, you two learn to just become best friends, and it does feel natural, and I enjoyed it. But at the end, BT dies a horrible death. Spoiler. And Cooper goes on to be the hero. And during the whole credit roll, we're just watching Cooper walk through just crowds of people on like the main militia ship, I think. And these people are just like applauding him, and he's just walking past everybody just with this big shit-eating grin on his face, and it's just full of heroism, and like it's just, you know, it's a scene that you've seen in plenty of movies. The hero saved the day, and everybody is applauding him. And this guy is just soaking it all in, and he doesn't even look the least bit disheartened that, you know, his friend is dead. BT is dead. And I mean, BT didn't even just die. He died so Cooper wouldn't have to. Then, just to twist the dagger a little more, at the very end, Cooper basically looks at his replacement Titan that they like were building up to, that they're gonna give him, and he says, I'll kind of miss the old one. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? He saved your fucking life. You both went through hell together, and he sacrificed himself for you. He trained you to become a pilot, and the whole campaign is about two of you growing up to know one another, you know, growing to to need each other. And then he just, you know, man, I'll miss the old guy. He's, fuck you, Cooper. You know, like, the whole campaign was built to make you feel something, and then the main character didn't feel anything at the end. Just, I don't know. It was bizarre, to say the least. But that's my only complaint. So just don't watch the credit roll, and you'll enjoy the campaign a lot more. So here comes the part where I talk about the multiplayer. I liked the campaign more than I liked the multiplayer. In case you aren't familiar with Titanfall, it's basically Call of Duty on crack. You run on walls. Wait, Call of Duty's doing that now, so that's not new. So you run on walls, you have a double jump. Call of Duty's doing that too. Whatever. It's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, but you run a little bit faster. The TTK is like way lower, and you can call in Titans. So instead of getting like stupid bullshit kill streaks, you get to call in a Titan after you do enough good in a match. And I don't know, I'd say in the average match you can call in 2 or 3 Titans, so everybody is getting Titans, and it seems pretty balanced. I make the comparison to Call of Duty kill streaks because there is a comparison there. You kill people and you get rewarded for it. But the difference is that the kill streaks, there's air quotes there, in Titanfall are interesting because they're not just instant free kills like some of the kill streaks are in Call of Duty. If you're on the receiving end of a kill streak reward in Call of Duty, let's call it like the helicopter, it doesn't feel good. In fact, it's really just frustrating. You have to take time out of your game to deal with this thing that's just racking up points for the other team. And it's not fun, it's just like, oh, I guess I have to spawn with a rocket launcher and deal with the helicopter now. That's not really fun. It's an annoyance, really. But the Titanfalls in Titanfall, the Titans, which are basically the replacement for kill streaks, they're not annoying, right? They're not just these power weapons that you have to deal with. They're a integral part of the game. So I'm not just spewing bullshit here. There's like a real reason to have Titans in the game, other than just like, oh cool, there's a big mech punching things. So here's how it works. An enemy spawns in a Titan. You simply damaging their Titan decreases the cooldown until you can call in your own Titan. So right off the bat, we have this really good, simple idea to make these things balanced, right? If other people have Titans, you have more Titans to shoot at, so you get your Titan faster. It fixes its own problem. Wonderful. But it goes more than that. It's deeper than that. So if the enemy Titan is up and you don't have a Titan, you can run over to their Titan and just jump on it and rip a battery out of the enemy Titan and then hop off and run away. And that battery, what it does is if you get into a friendly Titan or your own Titan, it will actually heal it. It'll give it health, and that's the only way you can get health, quotes, for your Titan back, is by stealing these battery packs from enemy Titans. It's fantastic because it's fun. It's actually fun to do. You hop on an enemy Titan, it's not too difficult to do because you're fucking parkouring all over the place, running at super speed. Jump on a Titan, rip a battery out, they lose like a fourth or a third of their health. You run over to a friend, hop on your friend's back, put that battery in, and just kind of hang on the back, shooting lasers off the dude's back as you heal them. It's awesome. It feels great, and it's a good teamwork thing. It's team building. It's wonderful. So anyway, the point is, Titans aren't a gimmick. They're actually a valid and interesting gameplay mechanic, which is in stark contrast to Call of Duty's kill streaks, which are neither imaginative nor are they fun for either the party who is using them, nor the party that is just getting fucked by them. So anyway, with all that being said, the multiplayer is not that great. By the time I've finished rendering this video, I'm probably going to put the game down because it just doesn't keep me interested. It's really sad because these guys are talented. They can make a really innovative game if they just kind of change their thought process just a little bit. For instance, the lightning fast time to kill is not fun. It's not fun. It's never fun. You kill someone and you're like, well, that guy sucked. And then when you die, you're like, fuck that guy. That guy needs to get a job. Good competitive shooters like Halo or Gears or Overwatch, they have this dance, this ballet between two players that gives each their own options for engaging and disengaging, and even ways to change the way they engage and disengage. Take Halo 5 for example. They made a pretty significant change since Halo 4, and that was with this boost mechanic they've got now. You get this short little boost on a 5-ish second cooldown, and it moves you maybe like 10 feet in any direction. And you can use it offensively by closing the gap between players, like to get that melee in. or you can use it defensively by getting behind cover more quickly, or simply just making yourself a harder target to hit. Interactions in games like Halo are interesting because you are truly interacting with the other player. They shoot, you shoot, they throw a grenade, you duck, you melee, they boost. There's lots of interaction. Anytime you're playing Halo, you can get a feel for who you're fighting against. You can tell who you're playing against just by their play style. You don't need a kill feed to tell you who you just killed, because after playing with them for 3 minutes, you're pretty much familiar with these dudes already. You know what they're up to, you know what they're capable of, you know their tricks. On the flip side, I fucking challenge you to, in any Call of Duty or Titanfall, recall who it was that killed you without looking at the kill feed. See if you can even tell the same dude twice in a row in one game. You fucking can't. You just can't. Because what you do is you turn a corner and you fucking die. There's no dance. You just go, whoop, he shot me first, I'm fucking dead. And even if you do pull that 180 and shoot that dude first, even though he got the drop on you, is that fun? You're just better at moving your mouse than that dude. That wasn't interesting. It was just like, oh, okay, well, you have better muscle memory. And that's it. What fucking fun is that? Where's the teamwork? Where's all the creative thinking? What's all the tactics? There's none. There's just, I have better muscle memory in my right hand than that fucking 12-year-old that I just murdered over the internet. And Titanfall, despite all of the creative thinking that went into this game, falls prey to the same fucking problem. Just make all the pilots move really fucking fast and give them guns that shoot really fast, like really accurate, fast shooting guns. And that's what the kids want these days. $60. Ugh, okay. Look, this is what you do. Slow the fucking game down. You've got all these amazing animations for parkour and like sliding and wall running and shit, and it looks really cool. Slow it down, dude. Make the TTK like a second bare minimum, point blank, so you can actually dance around and see each other. Make it interesting. You can do wall running, so just run around on walls and shoot each other for a second. That's it. Just give me a second of it, and this game would be much more interesting because I'd develop some skills to like react to what other people are doing instead of just this Twitch shooter thing that everyone's just fucking obsessed with because it's easy to do. You don't have to think about balancing a game if every fucking weapon in the game has a quarter of a second time to kill. But whatever, that's a lost fucking cause. It's just cheaper to produce games this way, so that's what we're gonna get. But the other thing that I'm really upset about is just how under-imagined the Titans are in multiplayer. And I don't mean the gameplay. The gameplay's fine. I talked about that earlier. The gameplay's actually a really good idea. It's probably the best idea in this fucking game. What I'm talking about is just, they do this thing, like exactly how Call of Duty does with classes. You pick a class, that's how you look, and that's it. That's how you pick your style of gameplay. And with Titans, you just pick a Titan. You unlock a Titan, and that's the Titan you get. And if you want a different Titan, you just go to the menu and you pick another Titan. Like, why can't you think? You know, like, why can't you think of ways to make this interesting? Titanfall 1 died because no one was fucking interested in prestiging in yet another fucking game. But that was all they could come up with. They're like, well, yeah, kids love it when you put more numbers next to their name. So if you put 100 hours into it, you get another number next to your name. It's great. But no, it doesn't fucking work anymore, dude. The game died before the first DLC even came out. And then here we go with the second game. They learned nothing. They learned nothing. They've made no changes to make this game replayable at all. It's the same shit again. You just gotta fucking prestige. That's the end game. Just keep prestiging, dude. Show how many hours you played in this game by having a big fat fucking number next to your screen name. That's what the kids want. Instead, we should have gone with like a Destiny kind of way, okay? So hear me out. Instead of just unlocking classes that just have different looks and small gameplay changes, give everybody just a base pilot and a base Titan. And you get this in-game economy. Okay, credits that you earn in PvP, maybe even like loot that you can take off of Titans that you kill in PvP. And that's a good fucking idea. And then at the end of a match, you use that loot to deck out your own Titan. And then whatever you can't find in game from dead carcasses, you use the credits that you've accrued from playing the game to buy like upgrades and parts to make your Titan more powerful or to fit your playstyle. And same for your pilot, right? I mean, you should be able to deck out your pilot the way you want it to. But instead, you have to pick a class and you have to just spray paint it to make it look the way you want it. Okay? That's not what people want. People want to make a class. They want to make it look the way they want it to look, and they want to make it play the way they want it to play. And they had 2 opportunities to do this, with the pilots and with the Titans, and yet again, they just went with the easy route, and they're like, no, let's just do it the way Call of Duty does it. Those guys make billions. Just do it the way Call of Duty does it. Don't fucking think about it. It makes me sick. It makes me fucking sick. Because this game had so much goddamn potential, and they just took the easiest route out. Not even learning from the failure of the first game. The first game made a lot of money, and that must have confused them. Don't be fooled. The game made money because it looked good in previews, okay? It looked like a lot of fun. I bought into it. I was excited for it. And then it died. And then 2 years later, they're like, we're doing it again. And I'm like, you know what? I have faith in these guys. I didn't look into the game at all. I'll be honest. I saw a trailer. I said, oh, fuck, the first one. I remember it being fun. Played it. Realized they didn't learn a goddamn thing. And now I'm making a review. And I'm done playing the game. Alright, you guys get the point. I'm done reviewing this. Game had a lot of opportunity. They took the easy way out. The game gets boring quick. Multiplayer gets a 6 out of 10 out of me, and that's kind of high. I think that puts the game at, I don't fucking know. What did I say about the multiplayer? I don't care. The game overall gets a 7 out of 10. I'm pretty sure that's what it deserves. I think you should play it for the campaign when it goes on sale for $30 on Origin. I say $30 because you know damn well it's never going to go any cheaper than that. Give it a shot when it goes that cheap. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's worth at least 12 hours of gameplay in the multiplayer before you get fucking sick of it. Hopefully, Titanfall 3, maybe they should just give you like an overshield. That way the gameplay lasts a little bit longer, huh? Okay, alright. Thanks for, hey guys, like seriously, thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button because it gives me that YouTube cash.